facilito me le pego. Y es que
yo tengo un problema de alcohol, yo no sé por qué soy así. Pa' mí que el doctor estaba bebiendo el día que yo nací. Baby, pon la mano en el suelo y huégate con el pelo. Tu cuerpo es puro veneno, bebé, tú me llevas al cielo. Tú me dejaste caer, pero ella me levantó. Déjame poca mujer, pero ella me levantó. Y yo me emborraché y de ti me olvidé. Y tú peleas una y otra vez, baby, ya me cansé.
mi mujer me estaba llamando, pero yo no contesté. Porque yo estaba contigo perreando y de ella me olvidé. Dios mío, perdóname, no sé por qué yo le fallé. Yo estaba en la disco perreando
Y con ella me regué.
Yo estaba en la disco perreando.
Yo estaba en la disco perreando.
Yo estaba en la disco perreando.
Yo estaba en la disco
Tú me
perreando.
ganaste, me metiste en tu juego y me dañaste. El ticket semanal puede ser que en ti lo gaste. Me creo bichote tirando los pesos. Puerto Rico te doy pa' ti queso. Si no perdemos nunca regreso y por eso yo me quiero ir pa' casa, pero tú no me dejas. Ese culo es una amenaza, ya me creo que eres mi pareja. Un chotocho empezó el problema, porque la colcha metió en mi sistema. Quien vaya a chotear ya lleva la querella. No me echen la culpa, culpa es la de ella.
Me enredé y con un par de tragos, baby, me solté. Me quedé
We're live.
contigo y no le contesté. No sé por qué fallé, pero sí sé que rico la pasé. Llegó la medianoche, apenas empezaba el toque. Es que
Gentlemen
no me
and gentlewomen.
antes que fueran las 12, que bien la pasamos anoche. Sé que vaya que me perdone. Y si
No
lo
problem.
mañana, dile que no me conoce.
How you doing, Edge? What else do you have to do? Word. Oh, you hate working from home? I've done it for a long time. It's got its own challenges. It's got its own challenges. It's got some advantages, to be honest, but I mean, it's different. I work from home, but I'm freelance, so I don't have like a boss looking over me, you know? It's maybe different. You miss the office banter? Yeah. I missed that for the first couple years, but now I'm just like, I can't even interact with people in a normal way, so I actually like it. Totally forgotten how to interact with human beings on a day-to-day basis, so look forward to that after a few months of working from home. I'm doing good. Go for it, Mountain Dew. I guess that's your priority right now, right? That's your hometown. Reorg? Well, at least you haven't gotten laid off, right? I mean, so many people are laid off now. It's not live. What's not live?
Trato de empezar una conversación, pero no me das ni un poco de tu atención. Quieres siempre hacer lo que te da.
Austerity measures, what's that mean?
Y lo quieres arreglar todo en la
You have less, you get less money now? These people are not social distancing. Oh, that's cool. Oh, man. Long week. Yesterday's briefing was truly bizarre. Pretty much the best way to handle it. Yeah, it's true. And it's cool that yesterday's was wild. I posted a little bit about it on Twitter. on my main Twitter, but it's really weird. Like he sort of was arguing with his own White House coronavirus coordinator. He went on this big rant about how the media hates him again, but like this one was like a little more unhinged. Jared Kushner was just, it was like really up and down, all over the place. Did not give me very much confidence that things are getting in trouble, or getting in a good way, you know? Oh God. No problem. You too.
¿Me sigue o no me sigue todavía?
Real hasta la muerte.
No hay excusa. Gasté 30,000 en la medusa.
Versace.
Ella siempre que quiere me usa. Aquí si la saca la usa. Usa. ¿Qué cojones?
Hey, Quiet Stormer. What's up?
Con cojones.
Pero siempre con el palo. Pues si me bajo y lo jalo.
No hay excusa. Gasté 30,000 en la medusa. Versace. Ella siempre que quiere me usa. Aquí si la saca la usa. ¿Qué cojones? Aquí se ha tachado con cojones. Siempre andamos con los palos.
How you doing?
Y te lo damos.
Ey, y lo jalo. Aquí todas las balas son jalo. Aquí te mueres bueno o malo. Aquí se muere Pablo y Gonzalo. Ey.
2 kilos en la USA. Estoy millonario en el tiempo cuando tú caes.
Oh man, you're in online college? That sucks, dude. How can you pay attention?
O te tumbamos del palo como coco.
Ahora todos quieren guerra con el loco. Y si te alumbro te apagamos como foco.
How do they do everything? On tests?
Gasté 30,000 en la medusa.
Ella siempre que quiere me usa.
Aquí si
Do you have any
la saca,
papers?
la usa.
Did you see my tweet? I want to edit somebody's paper live. Do you have any papers that you need
Siempre andamos con los palos y nos bajamos. Y te lo
Haciendo
damos.
tickets y más que ellos. Sin ir la Cuba, las cubanas en el cuello. Pa' que llore la mía, que llore la de ellos. Y los palestinos pa' tumbarte de camello.
Me siento como Messi, pero él está con Adidas y yo con Nike.
Have you had any Zoom bombers?
Casi todos mis carros están saldos.
La presión es real hasta la muerte. Tu corillo
Oh,
coopera
5G
con la
wireless.
gente.
Let's do that. You want me to edit it? I'm curious about that. What's it about?
Que si Anuel está choteando y los papeles están más limpios que los 100 millones que tengo en el banco. Soy 27 no blanco y me das un millón en el pate y ya yo estoy manco.
Tu puta en el VIP.
Really? Why? What happened?
Ella dice que es pi, mamándome el bitch. Y si no es spray, no la maraves. Ey, hazme un despojo. Le quise diabólica, siento en rojo. Ey, ya mi disco es platino. Como Anuel charteando en los billboard latinos.
Me casé con una reina Mufasa.
Do people
70 millones para
troll
mi
it?
casa. Uy, una casa vale Richard
A lot of hate
Mille.
speech. Oh, really?
Tanto envidioso que les pasa.
It's a big problem. I'm in one of the Zoom bombing.
Gasté 30,000 en la medusa.
I'm in one of the Zoom bombing group chats or discords. Somebody invited me, and it's pretty nasty.
directo desde Medellín. Yo no soy Kanye, pero puede que me vea con Kim. No voy al banco, pero hay chavos en el maletín. Y no soy don, pero me siento como el King of Kings. Let's go. Y no hay excusa.
So how do you do your meetings then?
Me hice rico en Medellín con la plata de la USA. Y en la calle a mí me cuidan por ser quien conmigo abusa. Y no fronteen, que ustedes todos saben mis niveles. Lo de la joya ya compré cuando era un nene. Desde que tengo millones no hablo de cienes. Y no hablamos tanto.
Okay, that'd be cool. What's the topic? Is it? It's not like does it? Blackboard. It's not like does 5G cause cancer or whatever?
Ella siempre que quiere me usa. Aquí estamos machi, no te confundas. Aquí se gasta chavo con cojones. Siempre con el palo, por si me bajo y lo jalo.
Yeah, Zoom is getting hit hard with the privacy stuff. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's kind of hard because if you have 20 people in a room, and then you know, one of the people just has to give out the link and give out the password. There's nothing really you can do about it. I mean, I guess you could. No, you could have some sort of thing where like the link would allow you to track the person who. Oh, here they are. Here we go. Let's go. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because last one was so bonkers. It was all over the place. I don't know what they could possibly say. You know, like yesterday it was all about, you know, how they were getting industry involved to make masks. Jared Kushner was up there droning on about how they had all this data. Trump argued with Brooks about the effectiveness of the measures. Everything is still going badly. I think there's going to be questions about Cuomo in New York is really hammering the administration now, saying that, you know, they aren't getting enough ventilators, they aren't getting enough supplies. Yeah. He was talking about how great it was that Pence was able to talk for 5 minutes without giving an answer. Let's see. Like, look, we're really New York. So Cuomo just passed a thing where he's basically going to allow the government to take ventilators when they need them because it's so bad there. What's wrong? Oh, there we go.
He's done a fantastic job for the people of California, and also the people of California have done a fantastic job. When you look at the bump, you take a look at the bump.
Yeah, we're doing good we're doing pretty good over here.
Congratulate everybody out there, but I thought I'd have Kevin say a few words. So, Kevin, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and I
Who's
would
this
like
guy?
to thank you. I'm based in California. Governor Newsom says the work that you're doing together has been working very closely. It's been effective in California as well, the Vice President and the President.
Who's this guy?
You know, today, Mr. President, I want to thank you especially for
House Minority
the work
Leader.
that Secretary Mnuchin has done, especially for small businesses. Just today alone, I saw Bank of America had more than 10,000 loans in 2 hours. And for anybody who's in small business, I had first small business when I was 20 years old. You don't have income coming in right now, you get a loan, but for your rent, paying your employees, and paying your utilities is a grant. That's part of the CARES Act. And I think you're going to find that a lot of small businesses are going to hire people back, keep them afloat through the next 2 months, and get this.
Turn up the broadcast.
As we get through this.
Oh yeah,
I
sorry.
just want to thank you for all that work.
Thank you. Great job you're doing.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. You go ahead. I'll talk to you later. All right. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And I want to start by saying that our Hearts go out to the people of New York as they bear the brunt of the coronavirus pandemic in America. That seems to be the hot spot right now, but you have some others, as you know, that are very, very bad, very bad. Louisiana is getting hit very hard. Parts of Michigan are getting hit very, very hard. New Jersey is surprisingly, it's much greater than anybody would have thought. They're doing a really good job. Governor's doing a really good job out there. New York's first responders, EMTs, doctors, nurses are showing incredible courage under pressure. They're the best in the world. We will take every action and will spare no resource, financial, medical, scientific. We will not spare anything. We'll get it back into shape. The Empire State, the governor's doing an excellent job. They're all working very hard together. At the request of the governor, as you know, the Javits Center, we have 2,500 beds, and we're going to allow that to be a system where this horrible disease can be looked after, the patients can be looked after. That was going to be for regular medical problems, such as accidents. And, you know, it's very interesting. The governors tell me we don't have too many accidents. There are very few people driving. So we're going to put that facility into play, which is a big facility. The ship will be staying the way it is, but we're putting that facility into play to help them. And today also the CDC is announcing additional steps Americans can take to defend against the transmission of the virus. From recent studies, we know that the transmission from individuals without symptoms is playing a more significant role in the spread of the virus than previously understood. So you don't seem to have symptoms and it still gets transferred. In light of these studies, the CDC is advising the use of non-medical cloth face covering as an additional voluntary public health measure. So it's voluntary. You don't have to do it. They suggest it for a period of time, but this is voluntary. I don't think I'm going to be doing it, but you have a lot of ways you can look at it as follows. The CDC is recommending that Americans wear a basic cloth or fabric mask. They can be either purchased online or simply made at home, probably material that you'd have at home. These face coverings can be easily washed or reused. I want to emphasize that the CDC is not recommending the use of medical grade or surgical grade masks, and we want that to be used for our great medical people that are working so hard and
It just started.
doing some job. Medical protective gear must be reserved for the frontline healthcare workers who are performing those vital services. The new mask guidelines also do not replace CDC's guidance on social distancing, including staying in your home when possible, standing at least 6 feet apart for a period of time. Again, we're going to all come back together here. We're going to all come back together and practicing hand hygiene, which we should do anyway. A lot of things I think are going to spill over. Shaking hands maybe will stay with our country for a long time beyond this. One of our great doctors was telling me that, as you know, we have flus every year.
I gotta get the audio
and
right.
the number of people
Moises Layer.
killed by the flu is
How you
very
doing?
substantial. It said that if they didn't shake hands, that number would be substantially lower. So maybe it'll stay. Maybe some of these things long-term will be good. But those
Okay.
guidelines are still the best and the safest way to avoid the infection. So with the masks, it's going to be really a voluntary thing. You can do it. You don't have to do it. I'm choosing not to do it, but some people may want to do it, and that's okay. It may be good. Probably will. They're making a recommendation. It's only a recommendation. It's voluntary. We're also taking action to ensure the cost of no barrier to any American seeking testing or treatment of the coronavirus. The largest insurer nationwide, the Blue Cross Blue Shield system, has now announced that it will not require any copays, which is really something. That's a tremendous statement, from patients of the virus treatment for the next 60 days, similar to the commitments of Cigna, Humana, Anthem. Those are great companies, and they're all doing the same thing. So copays, for them to do that, is It's a big statement. We appreciate it. Today, I can so proudly announce that hospitals and healthcare providers treating uninsured coronavirus patients will be reimbursed by the federal government using funds from the economic relief package Congress passed last month. So that was as per the question yesterday and actually the day before yesterday. This should alleviate any concern
Can't you be on your
Americans
parents'
may have about
Quiet
seeking
Stormer?
the coronavirus treatment. So that's, I think, answers the question pretty well and very much in the favor of our great people. I'm also signing a directive invoking the Defense Production Act to prohibit export of scarce health and medical supplies by unscrupulous actors and profiteers. The Secretary of Homeland Security will work with FEMA to prevent the export of N95 respirators, surgical masks, gloves, and other personal protective equipment. We need these items immediately for domestic use. We have to have them. But we've done really well with the purchase of items, and you'll be hearing about that shortly. We've already leveraged the DPA to stop the hoarding and price gouging of crucial supplies. Under that authority, this week, the Department of Health and Human Services, working with the Department of Justice, took custody of nearly 200,000 N95 respirators, 130,000 surgical masks, 600,000 gloves, as well as bottles, many, many, many bottles, and disinfectant sprays that were being hoarded. All of this material is now being given to healthcare workers. Most of it's already been given out. And we've given a lot to New York, a lot to New Jersey, a lot to other places. In addition, to ensure that healthcare workers in New York have the protective equipment they need, the federal government, in the name of the Department of Defense, is providing about 8.1 million N95 respirators, Department of Defense, and we've already given 200,000 of them to New York City. Mayor de Blasio needed them very badly, so we got them to Mayor de Blasio in New York City. They were very grateful. 8.1 million, and we're going to be increasing that number from 8.1 million to more. That's a lot of N95 respirators. Today, my team spoke with the CEO of Ochsner Health and the CEO of LCMC, the two largest health systems in New Orleans. They said they feel that they currently have enough ventilators. I think a lot of people are going to have enough ventilators and masks and appreciate what we did and all of the things we've been doing with them, working with them.
Image.
The CEO of Ochsner, Warner Thomas, who's really been fantastic, I have to say, indicated a need for 230,000 surgical gowns, and I instructed FEMA to deliver them tomorrow, so they'll have the 230,000. That's Louisiana, New Orleans. 230,000 surgical gowns, they'll have them by tomorrow. We're expanding the role of the armed forces in our response effort because no one is better prepared to win a war than the United States military, and we are in a war. The invisible enemy, remember. Over 9,000 retired Army medical personnel have answered their nation's call and are now supporting field hospitals and medical facilities all across the country, like what I just told you, that Governor Cuomo requested we do something in
they're just
Javits where we take it over.
They're not
we're
surgeon's
gonna
maps.
have that manned by
They're like
the
construction
military.
maps.
Because it's very tough to get more people in the New York area, so we're going to have it manned by the military. Javits Center. National Guard members have been activated to help states build new treatment centers and assist in the seamless distribution of medical supplies. That includes National Guard. The National Guard is assisting
I
very
have one of
strongly
those.
because the states were,
I donated
in many
them, though.
cases, unable to have the delivery capability from warehouses
one.
and other places that
One
we
mask.
put the supplies. So I've given approval to use the National Guards, the various National Guards in the different states. and they're doing a fantastic job of not only protecting people but
No,
delivering
you don't need a gas mask.
material.
I didn't keep it. I
The
kept
Army Corps
one.
of Engineers has
one
assessed more
mask.
than 100 facilities in all
then
50
I,
states and is rapidly building temporary hospitals
Gave a couple to friends, and then I
and
donated
alternative
the
care
rest. So
sites in
like 16.
many states, in New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, New Mexico, Oregon, Washington, Wisconsin, Ohio. They're doing a lot of work, and just those states plus additionals that will be announced probably tomorrow, but they're doing some job. The Army Corps of Engineers, what a job they're doing, and FEMA, what a job they're doing. As we deploy the power of our military, we're also deploying the skill of our doctors, scientists, and medical researchers. We continue to study the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine and other therapies in the treatment and prevention of the virus, and we will keep the American people fully informed of our findings. Hydroxychloroquine,
It's normal.
I don't know,
mask.
it's
That's
looking
amazing.
like it's having some good results. I hope that would be a phenomenal thing, but we have it right now. In approximately now, it's increased to 1,500 people. I spoke
No,
with
not much happened.
Dr. Zucker
don't
in
even-
New York.
Just talking about what
Terrific
they're
guy, by
doing,
way.
all the stuff they're doing.
We're doing a good job.
How good of a
And I
job they're
spoke to
doing.
Governor Cuomo last evening and this morning about it. So it's been there for about 3.5 days, but I think, and many other places it's being tested too.
I mean, the main thing is he announced
And,
that the
we have a
CDC
tremendous
recommends
supply
wet
of it.
masks,
We've ordered
but he
it.
won't. You're right.
In the case that it works, and it's,
So
it could have
bizarre.
some pretty
Imagine
big
that.
impacts. So we'll see what happens.
He's like, yeah,
My
they recommend this,
administration
but
is
I'm not
also
doing
working to
it.
get relief to American workers and businesses in day one of the Paycheck Protection Program. As Kevin said, more than $3.5 billion in guaranteed loans have been processed to help small businesses keep their workers employed during the unprecedented time, And
Wow,
Bank of
really?
America has been incredible. Of the big banks, Bank of America has really stepped forward and done a great job. And then you have the community banks, your smaller banks.
Hey,
and,
Moises.
we're already at $3.5 billion going out to
Thank you for the
incredible people,
teapot.
but that's way ahead of schedule. The SBA and the Treasury are working around the clock, and our banking partners are really incredible. And they're ensuring that the money gets to small businesses as quickly as possible, and then the small business, in turn, take care of employees that they would have had to let go, and now
What are you
they'll keep
reading?
them. And that's good. And then they're going to open for business, and they're going to have their employees, and we'll try and get back to where we were. Eventually, we're going to supersede where we were. The energy industry has been especially hard hit in the crisis. This afternoon, I met with Greg Garland of Phillips 66, Dave Hager of Devon Energy,
never heard of
Harold
that.
Ham of Continental Resources, Jeff Hildebrand of Hillcorp Energy, Vicky Hollub of Occidental Petroleum, Mike Summers of the American Petroleum Institute, Kelsey Warren of Energy Transfer Partners, Mike Worth of Chevron, and Darren Woods of ExxonMobil. I informed them that we will be making space available in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to let American producers store surplus oil that can be sold at a later time. There's a tremendous abundance of oil, primarily because of the virus. The virus has just stopped demand of everything, including oil. So we're working with our great energy companies. These are great companies. They employ tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And they've kept America really going for a long time, and no big price hikes, no big anything. I mean, they've just kept it going, and now they got hit. But with all the jobs and all of the good that they do, we're going to make sure that they stay in good shape. America is engaged in a historic battle to safeguard the lives of our citizens, our future society. Our greatest weapon is the discipline and determination of every citizen to stay at home and stay healthy for a long time. And we want them to stay healthy for a long time. So stay at home. This is ending. This will end. You'll see some bad things, and then you're going to see some really good things. And it's not going to be too long.
Yeah, Beep.
We will heal our citizens, and we will care for our neighbors, and we will unleash the full might of the United States of America to vanquish the virus. And with that, I'd like to ask Mike Pence to come up, Vice President, say a few words, and we'll have a couple of other quick talks
All right.
on a couple of subjects, and we'll take questions. And
The main thing
it's a
was the
beautiful
mask.
Friday in Washington, D.C., and our country's a great place, and we're getting better. We're getting better very quickly.
We're
This
getting
was
better.
artificially
How are we
induced.
getting better?
They said, close it down. You have to close it down. We closed it down, and we're healing, and we're going to get it better fast. So, Mike, if you could come up, say a few words, please.
Thank you,
It's
Mr.
gonna be
President. The President just outlined a number of the decisions that he made today on the unanimous recommendation of the White House Coronavirus Task Force. In addition, some good news. Dr. Deborah Birx will reflect on a moment some of the areas across America where we see evidence that the mitigation efforts, the American people putting into practice the President's coronavirus guidelines are having a positive effect. In fact, today, California and Washington State, where the coronavirus first emerged in our country, the cases remain at a steady but low rate. And we know, as Governor Newsom said yesterday, that they're not out of the woods yet. We continue to flow resources. But we want to commend people in those states and all across the country
still.
who are putting into practice the
going a
social
little slow.
distancing and all the
Little lower,
measures
but-
that state and local leaders are advising and
bring that down.
and that the President has been advising in the coronavirus guidelines for America. We're also continuing to track significant outbreaks in New York State, New Orleans, Detroit, Chicago, and Boston. And as the President indicated, we're prioritizing resources to support healthcare workers and to support those that are dealing with the coronavirus in those communities. On the subject of testing, now more than 1.4 million tests have been performed across the country. And as you all are aware, some 266,000
Where are they?
Americans have tested positive for the
Oh, look, it's up. It
coronavirus.
went up again.
Abbott Instruments, which
this.
now can perform a 15-minute test across the country, have literally 18,000 of their machines across the nation today. But
Why is it
at the
going up
President's
again?
direction,
It's not
FEMA
good.
is acquiring over 1,200 more machines to distribute to every state public health lab in America and also to our Indian Healthcare Service. And the big news, of course, over the last few days was that the FDA, once again in near record time, has approved an antibody test developed by Celex. And we're continuing on the White House Coronavirus Task Force to examine ways that we can scale up these rapid tests and these innovative new tests, not just to meet this moment, but to lay a foundation for testing across the nation in the months ahead. As the President mentioned, he met with energy executives today and continues to engage with leaders of businesses all across the nation. We also held a teleconference today with commercial retailers.
Wow. Really?
On the President's behalf, we thanked them
So they were
for
lying.
the way that people that operate malls and shopping centers around the country have
crazy.
embraced and enacted the coronavirus guidelines for America. It's had enormous impact on their businesses and their industries, but I heard
I'll read it. I'll check
I heard
it out.
from them their
Wall Street Journal, it's
their
not always
patriotic commitment to put the health of their associates and their
Not always
customers
totally
first, and it was
up to date.
deeply inspiring.
WAPO?
On the subject of supplies, the
Well,
President
WAPO too.
detailed our work in that space. It continues to this day. Part of our air bridge, we had a flight arrive from China today to Columbus, Ohio. We continue to work each and every day watching the data about cases to ensure that in particular, not just the personal protective equipment is available for the healthcare
They should put
workers
this up there
that
like
are on the
this.
front lines, but also that ventilators
On Fox.
are available.
Have the
As this epidemic makes its way through regions and communities, we are literally working hour by hour, day by
Nemo, I
day,
did not. No.
to make sure
I
that
haven't found
patients, families,
Just
and
reading an
healthcare
article about
providers
it, though.
have the equipment and the support that they need. As the President mentioned, we've
South
we've
Korea is
seen over
killing
$1.5
it.
billion in loans go out through the Paycheck Protection Program today. We have available for questions the head of the CDC today to speak about the new guidance on cloth face coverings. And Secretary Azar in a few moments will explain just how the President's
What doctor
decision to make
died?
sure that no American will ever have to worry about paying for testing or for coronavirus treatment. I'm pleased to report that the President's direction, Medicaid and Medicare already expanded to coronavirus treatment and testing early on. And of course, the President just indicated how major insurance companies across the country are not just waiving copays on testing, but they're now waiving copays for at least 60 days on any coronavirus treatment. But now, as Secretary Azar will enumerate, and now we'll make sure that any American, even those that have no insurance, will be able to receive treatment in the hospital and never have to worry about the bill. I just give a gentle reminder to every American, if there is evidence across the country that you're putting into practice.
I'm reading your article.
The coronavirus guidelines for America. Every American has a role to play.
This is
and I want
about
to thank you on behalf of the President
depression.
And all of the American people.
I mean, that's a serious problem. I was thinking about that.
Engaging in the social
I don't know
distancing,
how I'll be able to do it.
that will slow the spread. We encourage you to
like
keep
2
on
more
keeping
months.
on.
I gotta.
We will get through this.
Get out of here,
America. We will get through the coronavirus to that day of renewed health, renewed prosperity that the President
keep on
always
keeping on.
describes. But we'll get through there sooner, and we'll get through there when we work together. Dr. Burke?
There's a guy in.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, Mr. President. Thank you for your words of discipline and determination. I guess that really describes what we're asking every American, to really be disciplined about these guidelines and really determined to stay in that space of execution. You know, we are just in week 3 of this full guidance measure. We really do appreciate the work of the citizens of California and Washington State, because we do see that their curve is different. Their curve is different from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And we really believe that the work that every citizen is doing in those states is making a difference, and it will make a difference for the frontline healthcare providers. We also are deeply grateful that despite the way their curve looks today, they continue to get ready for a different potential, so that they can ensure that patients, if they do get sick, have options and availability. To all the frontline healthcare workers in what we have referred to as hot zones, areas where the number of cases are quite significant, the New Orleans, the New York City metro area, including New Jersey and Connecticut, the incredible work that the frontline healthcare workers are providing. We're really working now at a much more granular level, talking directly to hospitals to ensure that they have the supplies that they need in coordination with state and local governments, and to work.
That makes sense.
I think we discussed it yesterday,
she does
but
look
I think
a little
it was quite clear
drained.
also and reiterated by Governor Cuomo today, that we have to support one another as each of these different metro areas and other areas move through their peak of new infections. When we talked about it at the beginning of this week, we talked about this week and next week being incredibly difficult. And we want to recognize the number of Americans who have lost their lives to this virus, and recognize the sacrifice that healthcare providers are making both in their care, but I think I'm very uplifted by hearing their messages to families and their compassion for others to provide that kind of support to the individuals in the hospital. We continue to watch, in addition, the Chicago area, the Detroit area, and have some developing concerns around Colorado, the District of Columbia, and Pennsylvania. So as you can see, each of these will follow their own curves. We'll be getting more and more of those case over time information in a very granular way to each and every one of you, so that we can follow these epidemiologic curves as each of these states, counties, and communities move through this together in solidarity, and really ensuring that we can move supplies creatively around the country to meet the needs of both the frontline healthcare providers, but also every American who needs our support right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for your continued leadership as we battle the coronavirus. First, I want to thank all of the members of the HHS team and the frontline healthcare workers across America, including those service workers who serve in our hospitals and our healthcare facilities, those who clean, those who deliver, those who stock the shelves, all those who are going into battle every day against the virus.
4K death in
Your country's
Austin?
asked you to serve as never before, and you have responded heroically.
Austin's
I'm
not
going to
big.
provide a brief update on the administration's plans to cover the testing and treatment for the uninsured. Getting the uninsured access to the care they need is a top priority for President Trump. We are already rolling out the $1 billion in funding from the Families First Coronavirus Response Act to cover providers' expenses for testing and diagnosing the uninsured. The CARES Act, signed by the President, includes another $100 billion for healthcare providers. Under the President's direction, we will use a portion of that funding to cover providers' costs of delivering COVID-19 care for the uninsured, sending the money to providers through the same mechanism
We need Medicare
used
for all.
for testing. As a condition of
I bet it
receiving
can't.
funds
No, it
under this
should be, though.
program, providers will be forbidden from balance billing the uninsured for the cost of their care. Providers will be reimbursed at Medicare rates. We will soon have more specifics on how the rest of the $100 billion will go to providers. We're working to ensure that this funding is distributed in a way that is fast, fair, simple, and transparent.
This doesn't make sense. Why should
I'd also like to remind people that if you've lost employer insurance coverage, you have insurance options that you should look into.
why should people have to
You'd
pay
be eligible
for
a
any
special
other condition
enrollment
and not
period on the
coronavirus?
healthcare
You know?
exchanges. And depending on your state, you may be eligible for Medicaid. Just as President Trump is working to ensure that COVID-19 treatment is paid for, he's working to support new
Doesn't make
treatment
sense.
options for patients.
You need to pay for everything.
Thanks to the President's leadership, many providers are trying different experimental therapies. And we need as much data as we can collect as quickly as possible on how these treatments are working. Today, Oracle has developed and is donating to the government and the American people a web portal and platform to gather crowdsourced real-time information from providers about how patients respond to potential therapeutics. While this doesn't replace the important work of clinical trials, it gives us data rapidly. If you are a doctor or a healthcare provider and you would like to help us, you can sign up today
Edge
to
case,
begin
I agree.
reporting on your work.
It's
There's a
illuminating
special registration
so many
page
flaws
for providers
in
at
society.
covid19.oracle.com.
So many inequalities, so much
Thank you very much.
fucking corruption and rot in the government.
Okay, let's go,
That's the thing
Steve.
that's
If we could
disturbing.
draw you out a little bit more on the advice on face mask. What would people gain from wearing a mask, and why are you opposed to wearing one yourself?
Well, I just don't want to wear one myself. It's a recommendation. They recommend it. I'm feeling good. I just don't want to be doing, I don't know, somehow sitting in the Oval Office behind that beautiful Resolute desk, the great Resolute desk. I think wearing a face mask as I greet presidents, prime ministers, dictators, kings, queens, I don't know, somehow I don't see it for myself. I just maybe I'll change my mind, but
Aesthetics,
this will
the
pass,
aesthetics.
and hopefully it'll pass very quickly. Now, with that being said, if somebody wants to, I mean, most people can just make something out of a certain material, so it's very well designated. It's very simple to do. I won't be doing it personally. It's a recommendation. Okay.
Would you like to say something about that?
Sure. Absolutely. Surgeon General, please.
The Surgeon General was out here being like, don't
Mr.
need
President,
masks.
Mr. Vice
just
President,
a second
Mr.
ago,
Secretary,
or a
and
few days
CDC
ago.
Director Redfield. I especially want to thank the folks at the CDC, and it's a great question that you ask. It's a fair question that you ask. I want to unpack the evolution of our guidance on masks because it has been confusing
evolved.
to the American people.
Look at, this
First
is what
of
he
all,
was
I want
saying
people to understand
last
that the
month.
CDC,
Stop
the
buying
World
face
Health
masks.
Organization, my office, and most public health and health organizations and professionals
no
originally
reason to
recommended
panic.
against the general public wearing masks because based on the best evidence available at the time, it was not deemed that that would have a significant impact on whether or not a healthy person wearing a mask would contract
That's what he was saying.
COVID-19. We have always recommended that symptomatic people wear a mask because if you're coughing, if you have a fever, if you're symptomatic, you could transmit
That
disease
was
to other
February
people.
29th.
What has changed in our recommendation? Well, it's important to know that we now know from recent studies that a significant portion of individuals with coronavirus lack symptoms. They're what we call asymptomatic. And that even those who eventually become pre-symptomatic, meaning that they will develop symptoms in the future, can transmit the virus to others before they show symptoms. This means that the virus can spread between people interacting in close proximity. For example, coughing, speaking, or sneezing, even if those people were not exhibiting symptoms. In light of this new evidence, CDC recommends and the task force recommends wearing cloth face coverings in public settings where other social distancing measures are difficult to maintain. These include places like grocery stores and pharmacies. We especially recommend this in areas of significant community-based transmission. It is critical, and the President mentioned this, the Vice President mentioned this. It's critical to emphasize that maintaining 6 feet of social distancing remains key to slowing the spread of the virus. But CDC is additionally advising the use of simple cloth coverings to slow the spread of the virus and to help people who may have the virus and do not know it from transmitting it to others. The cloth face coverings recommended are not surgical masks or N95 respirators. Those are critical supplies that must continue to be reserved for healthcare workers and other medical first responders as recommended by the current CDC guidance. As the President also mentioned, cloth face coverings fashioned from household items or made at home from common materials at low cost can be used as an additional voluntary public health measure. This recommendation complements and does not replace the President's coronavirus guidelines for America, 30 days to slow the spread, which remains the cornerstone of our national effort to slow the spread of the virus. CDC is always looking at the data. We've told you that from the beginning. Dr. Birx says at every single press conference. We're looking at the data, we're evolving our recommendations, and new recommendations will come as the evidence dictates. So I want to say if you do choose to wear a face mask, very important, wash your hands first because you don't want to put on a face covering.
It's just making it seem like what's even the point?
Do not touch your face while you are wearing the face covering because, again, you could take materials from the surface, germs from the surface, and bring it to your face. If you choose to wear a face covering, please leave the N95 mask, the medical supplies for the medical professionals, healthcare workers, and frontline workers. Know that this is not a substitute for social distancing. And remember, this is all about me protecting you and you protecting me. This is about us coming together as communities. And if people voluntarily choose to wear a face covering, they're wearing it to protect their neighbors from getting the coronavirus because, again, they could have asymptomatic spread. So, Mr. President, thank you very much for that. Appreciate the opportunity.
Well, Trump definitely doesn't care about other people getting it, so.
Okay, John.
Mr. President, Dr. Fauci last night recommended, said that every state should have stay-at-home orders right now. Do you agree with that? Should every state in this country have the kind of stay-at-home orders that we now see in places like Washington?
I leave it up to the governors. The governors know what they're doing. They've been doing a great job. I guess we're close to 90% anyway. And states that we're talking about are not in jeopardy. I would leave it to the governors.
I wouldn't do that unless you want to be on some kind of
I like that from the
list.
standpoint of governing, and I like that from the standpoint of even our Constitution. Please.
Mr. President, to address the shortage in the blood supply, the Food and Drug Administration announced yesterday.
Well, right?
Thanks, Mr. President.
I heard a different voice. I heard a much different voice. Go ahead. We'll get you later.
Going to the oil meeting previously, is the U.S. willing to cut domestic oil production? What came out of the meeting? What was the consensus?
Well, a lot of things came out. It's a great industry. It's an important industry. It's a tremendous job-producing industry. And it's just vital. And it was also very interesting because they all were given the test before they came into the room. So you have the head of ExxonMobil, you have all these guys taking the test, and they all passed with flying colors, so that was good. They left happy in that respect, at least. There's just an overabundance of oil right now, oil and gas, a tremendous overabundance, and it was caused. They were doing a great job. They were producing a lot of energy, but then you had the virus come along.
I don't know what it is.
It knocked another 35%, maybe 40% off
Definitely
of
narcissism.
the market. So there's too much oil. There's a glut.
And these are great companies, and they'll figure it out. It's free market. We'll figure it out.
You spoke to President Putin. I mean, what's on the table here
And
with
the
him?
Crown Prince, both.
Yeah.
They were having a competition. We'll see how it all works out. I think it's going to work out very well. It's going to take a long time to get rid of that. There's massive
I mean, he cares about his
excess amount
image. That's it.
of oil and gas. Massive. Like probably there's never
He
been.
thinks that image is
So
everything.
where that does work out well, I guess you could say, is for drivers. I think in certain locations it's down to 90 and 95 cents a gallon right now on the road. But we have a tremendous industry, a great industry, a tremendously important
Glenn
industry from the
Jacobs, I don't even
standpoint of
know who that
jobs.
is.
And we're energy independent. We have to make sure we keep it that way. All right, please, go ahead.
Mr. President, as I was saying, the Food and Drug Administration, to
Can't
address the
show
shortage
any
of blood
weakness.
supply, announced yesterday it would ease the restrictions on certain donors, including gay men, who are now required to be abstinent for 3 months as opposed to 12 months to donate. Did you have a hand in that change?
No, I didn't know anything about that. That was done by the
3
FDA, very
months?
capable people
Still.
at the FDA.
It's a really long
Yes,
time.
Mr. President, both the government of Canada and 3M are pushing back on this DPA not to export N95 respirators. 3M says...
I don't
this-
blame them. They can push back
Yeah,
if they
but
want.
they're saying it
We're not
raises-
happy with 3M.
Yeah.
We're not happy. And the people that dealt with it directly are not at all happy with 3M. So we'll see whether or not we do. I heard what he had to say today. I don't know the gentleman, but we're not happy with 3M. Go ahead.
And where is Dr. Fauci?
I don't know, but every time you ask that question, whenever he's not here, you look, you say, where is he? And you'll say, is there a problem? No problem whatsoever. Every time he's not here, sometimes I'll ask him to come because that's the first question that you and a couple of others from the fake news establishment ask is, where's Dr. Fauci? We're doing great together.
Different subject, if I may
Except
ask.
we're covering a different subject today. Go ahead.
Different subject, if I
Go
may
ahead, Jim.
ask.
Try another
Mr.
one.
President, you have said nobody could have seen this pandemic coming. But in fact, Secretary Azar at a biodefense summit in April 2019 said, of course, the people,
I don't know.
of course, the thing that people
They
ask,
keep- they
what
haven't
keeps you
unfrozen
most
him
up
yet.
at night in the biodefense world, pandemic flu, of course. I think everyone in this room probably shares that concern. Your own Health and Human Services Secretary was aware that this had the potential of being a very big problem around the world, a pandemic
Toxic
of this
question.
nature. Who dropped the ball?
Well, I always knew that pandemics are one of the worst things could happen. There's been nothing like this since probably 1917. That was the big one in Europe. It started actually here and went to Europe, probably. I've heard about, excuse me, wait a minute, let me finish. I've heard about this for a long time, pandemics. You don't want pandemics. And I don't think he was talking about a specific pandemic. He was talking about the threat of a pandemic could happen, and it could happen. Most people thought it wouldn't, and most people didn't understand the severity of it. This is very severe. What's happened is very severe. But I'd let you answer that. I assume that he was talking about the concept of a pandemic.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, absolutely. For 15 years now, this country has had a massive effort at the federal, state, and local level of preparedness for pandemic. Now, that largely has been, as I said in those remarks,
what happened?
about pandemic flu preparedness. We knew about SARS, we knew about MERS, which were
so
earlier
unprepared.
modifications or variants
Imagine
of the
that.
coronavirus. None of those achieved anything like what we're seeing today. But that's why for successive presidencies, including the leadership of President Trump, there has been a great focus on pandemic preparedness. In fact, it was just in November, I believe, that the president signed the Pandemic Flu Preparedness Executive Order that we have also updated the Pandemic Crisis Action Plan, which has been the playbook from which we've been working, the Pandemic Flu Plan, the action plan from which we have been working that coordinates the whole of government, whole of economy approach here. So we've all been very focused on pandemic preparedness. That's what we do. But this particular strain of pandemic, who would have known this particular strain?
Secretary Azar, if you were preparing for a pandemic,
What's
if
the
this
point
government
of even
were
doing
preparing
it
for a
then?
pandemic, why is it we don't have enough masks? Why is it we don't have enough medical equipment in this
Previous
country?
administrations gave us very little ammunition for the military and very little shelf space. Let me just tell you, you know it. You know the answer. The previous administration,
The previous administration, yeah, it's Trump.
the shelves
Obama.
were empty.
The shelves were empty. So what you should do is speak to the people from the previous administration,
You only
Jim,
had 3
and
hours,
ask them
3
that
years
question.
to fix
Because
it.
the shelves were empty, and you know what else? The military shelves were also empty. We had no ammunition, literally. And that was said by one of your favorite generals. We have no ammunition. Guess what? We had very little medical supply also. All right. Go ahead. We'll get it back. We'll get you back. We'll get you back, please.
What about that question?
Jim, I said we'll get you back. Please, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask about the DPA. So you said that there will be a ban on exporting of all, what does it cover? So masks, gloves, what else is
Covers
included in that
everything.
order? And are you concerned?
But if somebody ordered, if Italy, if Spain, who has big problems, these are countries with tremendous problems, France, if they have long-term orders and they're in there and they want to get certain things, I've let them go out in certain instances because I think it's only fair. They have problems that are proportionately or relatively bigger than our problems. So if they ordered something and they're waiting for, as an example, masks made here and going to Italy, I'm not going to be stopping that. I think it would be very unfair. And by the way, speaking about being fair and unfair, 2 very big cruise liners, as you know, I allowed them to dock today. We worked with the governor of Florida, as you know.
Are you guys
Ron
going to wear
DeSantis,
masks?
and
Are you guys
we
going to
worked
wear
on it,
masks?
And we had tremendous security. And
Stop
we
it.
took the sick people,
I guess
and
I will.
we're working
I
with
really
them.
don't
We
want
have
to.
doctors. We have great doctors, military doctors. And from a humane standpoint, not that we're in love with this. These are 2 massive ships. But we have to take care of people. We have to take care. We
Don't have
sent
a mask.
many back to Canada. The Canadians
Only wanna
came and
go out for
worked very
essential
closely
things.
with us, as did the UK. We had a lot of people from the UK.
I don't know, you gotta make them,
And
I guess.
we took care of the Americans. We took care of the sick. We had some people very sick.
Oh,
think
I
we
guess
had
I'll wear one.
3 to 4, maybe 5
Lauren's
people
gonna
that had
make me.
died on the boat.
I just
one
saw
of
a
the boats,
post
actually.
on
And
my neighborhood
we had to
message
take
board
care of these
saying,
people. So we could have let them float
"Please wear
aimlessly
one."
into the ocean looking for port, as they've been doing for a long time. And I made the decision we had to take them in. And Homeland Security and a lot of other people did a great job. But
DIY
we
mask
had to
cream.
help people. These are people that were very, very sick.
Well, I just
some were
bought
dying,
some.
some died. Please.
Thanks for the follow, Hazy.
Go ahead.
Pompano,
President,
Pompano.
your staff today said that people
Frog,
in
thank
close
you.
proximity to you and the vice president will get a coronavirus test. I'm wondering, are you concerned that the people you've been
that
hanging
doesn't
around with
work.
may have the virus?
No, I'm not concerned, no. I had a test yesterday.
But what's the reason for the order for people who meet with you or talk to you? Why
I don't know.
should
I
they
mean,
require a
I
test?
heard from the oil executives.
Hey,
These are
bro.
people.
Thanks,
Most
bro.
of them had not had the test, and frankly, I think they left the room feeling
They're
good about a
viewers.
lot of things. But they felt good about the test. This was a test that took, I guess, 13 minutes to have it finalized. They took the test. I don't know. I didn't know they were doing that. Maybe they did it just for them. I don't know. But
Publicly- you're
it
gonna
seems that
publicly
a lot of
shame
people,
anyone?
because now we have tests that really work well. Abbott. in
I mean,
this
I'm
case,
worried
Abbott.
that that's what's going to
We
happen
have
if I
other
walk
tests
out the
being
house
developed right
without
now
a
that are
mask.
also
My
fantastic.
neighbors are
The
very
original
serious about
tests,
it.
The ones we inherited, Jim,
We
as
have
an
no
example, they
cases
were,
in my
They
neighborhood.
were broken. They were obsolete. They were not good tests, and that's what we got stuck with. We've developed some incredible tests, but this took 13 to 15 minutes, and they were all fine.
On the DPA,
Go ahead, finish your
So I just
question.
wanted to ask, so the problem some people have raised is that if the U.S. stopped exporting, what you could have is other countries then deciding reciprocally that they are going to stop exporting, and that the result of that then will be a net decrease in the amount of supplies
people are wearing
that
out
American
masks
doctors,
outside.
American hospitals have. How do you address that?
Well, I address it in the following manner. We really are very well supplied. We are not the principal. It's the hospitals, the states, the cities. They're supposed to get everything they can and stock up in case something like this happens. But nobody could ever have assumed that something
one's
like this
outside.
happened. So we started supplying. We brought tremendous amounts to New York today, and over the last few days, we brought them to Louisiana. We brought them to Michigan. We brought them to Los Angeles. A lot of equipment. You read the amount of masks that we had. I think I said over 8 million masks. The N95 masks, the more expensive, more complicated, better, whatever masks, the ones that want to use in the hospitals. We have millions of them now, and we've given them to a lot. We sent to Bellevue in New York today. That was from Mayor de Blasio, 200,000 of them. But we have 8.1 million. We're going to have more than that.
I'll wear a
and
mask.
we're getting them from various sources, including the military. We're
What the
rapidly
hell?
then replacing them.
It'll
because
be
we have to
interesting.
replace them in case there's a
another emergency.
Just feel like an asshole.
I would be, gowns too. We have many gowns being delivered and have been delivered. Our people have done an incredible job. Most people have said now, and I said this yesterday, governors have said, thank you very much, great job. If they're a Democrat governor, in some cases, not in all cases at all. If I said, here's 1,000 ventilators, how many do you want? We want 1,000. Here's 1,000. You got them. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to add another 5,000. Is that good? They said, wow, that's great. And then if Jim Acosta goes and says, are you happy with the president? No, he should have given us 10,000. That's what's happening. You know why? Because that's a standard political answer. And that's a shame, because we have done a job like nobody's ever done a job. But we've just delivered a lot of masks. We've just delivered a lot of gowns and protective gear. But you know, you're talking about a massive number. But as of this morning, people were very, very happy. Steve?
Wow, Mitch, that's
Ask
scary.
you for a bailout of any
No, they
sort?
didn't ask for a bailout. No.
They asked for it.
It was really more of a discussion than asking. We did discuss the concept of tariffs because, as you know, this was a dispute among a couple of countries that I think they want to be able to get it solved. They had a dispute. They had a competition, but they want to get it resolved. Russia and Saudi Arabia, I think they want to get it. Yeah, I think they want to get it resolved. I think they're working very hard. I mean, they told me they want to get it resolved. They're working very hard. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yesterday, Jared Kushner said the notion of the federal stockpile was it's supposed to be our stockpile. It's not supposed to be state stockpiles that they then use.
That was
what
absurd.
did he mean by our?
Oh, what didn't you ask him?
And
I mean,
even the fact that taxpayers from
what's that?
every
It got
state
you.
pays
I got
for
you.
it.
You
No,
used
it's
the
not
word
a
hour.
gotcha. What did
Hour.
he
You
mean
know what
by
hour means? United States of America. That's what it means. It means
the states?
hour. Hour. It means United States of America. And then we take that hour and we distribute it to the states.
Toxic.
Not
Say
that we
it's
have
not supposed to be state stockpiles that they then
because we
use.
need it for the government and we need it for the federal government. But when the states are in no, to also keep
Giving it to if it's not to the states.
to keep for our country, because the federal government needs it too, not just the states. But out of that, we oftentimes choose. As an example, we have almost 10,000 ventilators, and we are ready to rock with those ventilators. We're going to bring them to various areas of the country that need them. But when he says our, he's talking about our country. He's talking, excuse me, he's talking about the federal government. I mean, it's such a basic, simple question, and you try and make it sound so bad. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know what? You ought to be ashamed. It's such a simple question. He said our, and our means for the country, and our means for the states because the states are a part of the country. Don't make it sound bad. Don't make it sound bad. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, back here. You just asked your question.
Yeah, they changed the language.
You just asked your question.
They changed
in a
the
very
language
nasty
on the
tone.
website.
Let's go.
You didn't give me an answer.
Please.
Mr. President,
I gave you a perfect answer. You know.
well, just to follow up on that, when the federal stockpile, I mean, isn't that designed to be able to distribute to the states?
Sure, but it's also needed for the federal government. We have a federal stockpile, and they have state stockpiles. And frankly, many of the states were totally unprepared for this. So we had to go into the federal stockpile. But we're not an ordering clerk. They have to have for themselves. Now, some of the states were in good shape. Some of the states were not in good shape. That's probably something you could expect. We have been helping states. We have been spending a tremendous amount of time, effort, and billions of dollars on making sure that they have what they have. I mean, take New York. We built them hospitals. I built them 4 hospitals, built them medical centers, sent a ship with 1,000 rooms and 12 operating rooms. And then on top of that, gave vast numbers of ventilators and vast numbers of surgical gowns, equipment, masks, everything else. Now, they had a chance to order ventilators over the years. They had a chance to order a very big, but they didn't choose to do it. We were there and we helped them. And I think the governor of New York is very thankful for the help that we gave. But we have a stockpile. It's a federal stockpile. We can use that for states or we can use it for ourselves.
We do use it for the federal government. We have a very big federal government. Go ahead.
Have you decided not to use your powers to be essentially a traffic cop for all the essential medical supplies that are
We're
needed?
not a
in this?
traffic cop. We're a humanitarian cop. We help. It's like the ships. Do you think we wanted to take 2 big ships into our country that have obvious problems, and you know the problems I'm talking about? So I have a decision to make. Do I take them in or do I save lives? Okay? Do I take them in or do I save? I decided to take them in. And we have tremendous protection. We have great doctors there to help the people. They had 4 or 5 people that died. That was as of last
They
night.
said there were like 20
They died
patients on the ship.
We took care of it. And now the people are in the process of, and many are already back in Canada, they're back in the UK,
this was a
United
headline.
Kingdom, and many of them were American citizens.
It has
Some
20
were very
patients
sick.
yesterday.
We're taking care of the sick people. We're testing all of the others very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. They are being tested like you wouldn't believe. And we solve a humanitarian catastrophe. You know why? Because nobody else would take the ships. Nobody else would take them. So we docked them in, I think, Fort Lauderdale.
Why you don't say we're the federal government and there's a shortage of masks
We do
and
say
other
that.
things, and we're going.
We do say that. We say we say, and we use the act. Excuse me. We do say that, and we use the act, and we've used it a number of times, very powerfully, and a lot of times we don't have to use it because we say we're going to use it if you don't do this or that. And then we also have companies that act incredibly well. We have plenty of them, mostly them, but we've used the act very powerfully. And a lot of times you don't have to exercise the act. All you have to do is tell them, look, if you don't do this, we're going to use the act. And we've done a good job with it, maybe a great job. Yeah.
Mr. President, there are news reports that you want to sign the stimulus checks that are going out here in several months. Is that right? Do you want to sign those checks?
Me sign? No. There's millions of checks. I'm going to sign them? No. It's a Trump administration initiative, but do I want to sign them? No. The people are getting their money. There's a lot of stimulus going in a lot of different ways. There's also stimulus going for companies that would, if it weren't for our government, would not, and some companies that were very strong a month ago. Again, we had the strongest economy in the world. We had our best ever. We had probably the best economy in the history of the world, bigger than China, bigger than anybody. And one day we have to say, close it up, stop. Everybody go home.
He loves to
And
return
you know
to
what?
this.
It's pretty tough to do that.
That's another thing, that there are rumors that these checks may not go out for another 4 months. Like if you don't
I
have
don't
the
know.
direct
All I can tell you is the small business today is that we're way ahead of schedule. There is a problem where, and which I pointed out, I said you shouldn't do it this way, with unemployment. We're 40-year-old equipment by the states. We're sending the money to the states. Once the money is sent to the states, then the states, whether they're Republican or Democrat, have to get the money out to the people. Hopefully they will be able to do it. But many of those states have 40-year-old computers. I don't know that they're equipped. I wanted to give the money direct, if that's what you're talking about. I wanted to give the money out direct. It would have been much easier. But the Democrats and some people said, no, let's do it the complicated way.
I'm talking more about the stimulus checks. Like,
All right, well, I was
when will
talking
people
about,
get their
excuse me,
money?
I was talking about both. Yeah,
When
they'll
will people
get,
get their
they
money?
will. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to ask questions both for myself and some of the other reporters who are in the room, social distancing. First of all, and this is for yourself and Dr. Birx, what percentage of the population do we suspect to be asymptomatic at this point? So a way to
Thanks for that. First aid. Uh-oh. Stopped. Working? Is this thing on? I'm getting slowed down.
Working on tests and assays that will be critical. For surveillance, and at the same time working on plans.
Where's this come from?
The antibody piece
Abort!
is critical,
Abort!
as you described.
This is the last thing you guys see. before the end. I don't know what's going on. Maybe what if they're gone? What if coronavirus got them?
So I think on Monday,
Where did she come from?
called
This is
on
random.
universities to work
Washington nuked. I don't know. The internet's Joe
on
Exotic
an
2020.
ELISA-based test to test for has to be like what we use for HIV and malaria.
Where did she come from? Was I behind this whole time? All right, come on. Joe Exotic 2020. You guys watching that killer cat video? I don't know what that.
I mean, we're pushing for that. At the same time,
What's this? News. China decides not to send.
we're asking to develop an assay, the ELISA-based assay, which requires a tube of blood. And that's why we're also talking to sailors on the Roosevelt with an antibody.
Let's see if this works.
We're also
I don't know. Something's wrong with my internet right now, I think. I don't know why it's shitting the bed so much. I think it might be this might be it. I don't know why my stream's perfect. It's weird. Is it YouTube?
symptomatic and already pre-existing antibody.
Maybe YouTube's going down. Getting filtered. They don't want the truth out here. They can't handle the truth. You guys, if anything happens to me, I just want you to know I've got a suitcase under my bed. Code is 5558. It's got all the information that I've gathered on
Important it is
all sorts
in
of stuff.
relationship to understanding this epidemic.
I love you all. Carry on my legacy without me.
We get through this. We can go back and look at
They're trying to shut me down. Watch Hassan Abi? Why? What's Hassan Abi doing?
what happened, where, and what does this epidemic look like. And when you get through it, then you can validate every model there is known to man.
That's not what she's
When
saying
you're in
anyway.
the
No,
middle
someone
of it,
asked.
You have to concentrate on serving the needs of each American.
See,
and
it's
what
not
that
working here
need
anyway.
looks like. At the same time, you have these other work streams on surveillance and
Lower quality? It's pretty low. We're
we
going
can really
down.
say right now, we all can do something.
We're going down. Fuck! Oh,
Your country.
don't press live. I don't know, guys. What are they trying to hide? That's what I want to know. I'd rather neck than watch Hassan.
And then when we get
What do you guys
through
think
all
about
of this,
Hassan?
we
I've
can
only
ask
watched
the
him a little while. He seems a little bit obnoxious, but loathsome. Don't tell him that I said that. He probably has a huge army of people who would come after me, right?
But a very good answer. That was enough for you.
Yes, me. Clout 10. Are you a big Hassan fan? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. I might not.
On the insurance coverage for treatment,
I don't think I can watch this. Fuck. Yeah, give me my American news. Does he game too? Somebody said that I should try to be Hassan Nabi. I don't think I can though. It's not my style. I can't just yell, you know, socialist shit all the time.
These experts have expressed concern that they haven't seen the underlying data. They're not
I'm sure they'll
questioning-
talk to you about that. And
Why not press live? Lowest quality. It's low. It's low as hell. Exit out tab, refresh. Heart capitalism. Well, okay. I'm closing all the tabs. Let's try this out.
For those uninsured individuals, they're going to get first dollar coverage. They're going to get care in the United States.
All right, here we go.
And the provider is going to be made whole from this program. So it's really unprecedented. What President Trump is doing here with this money is an unprecedented disease-specific support of care.
But now I can't see you chat because I closed the window.
Still be billed if they test negative.
You can't see the chat, so don't shit talk me.
One specifically on New York.
I'm not looking at chat, so don't say anything bad.
Governor Cuomo is saying that New York may be days away from running out of ventilators. Can you assure New York that going into next week that they're going to have the ventilators that they're going to need?
Yeah, that's what
They
I'm
should have
saying.
had
They're
more
running out of ventilators
at the time. They should have had more ventilators. They were totally underserviced. We are trying to do. We're doing our best for New York. You know, we have.
Right.
We have states. We have a lot of states. We have territories too, but we have a lot of states
quality
that have to be
shit.
taken care of. Some much more so than others. We've.
What if
worked very well
I saw
with the
Hassan
governor.
had his chat like this?
We
here.
happen to think that.
What do you think?
He's
the
well
point, though?
served with
I guess you
ventilators.
can
We're going to
then
find
look at
out.
this.
But we have other states to take care of. We have a big problem in Louisiana.
Oh,
we
yeah, I
have a
should
big
turn up
problem
the-
in Michigan. We have a big problem in 7 other really strong hotspots. But we're doing the best we can. I wish they did the original orders 3 years ago. They would have had all the ventilators they needed. Although even then they wouldn't, because if you look at what the original and
There we go.
We've supplied a lot. I told you, we supplied some just today.
You can see
to New
ourselves on the
York, and we
screen.
supplied some yesterday
You like
to New
that?
York City. Did you have one in the back? Yeah, please.
If I could say, this is why the question of the stockpile that was asked earlier is so important.
I don't think that was the question.
No, it was a very important question because what Jared Kushner said yesterday is that the federal stockpile is for use by the federal government, not for the states to have access to. So you seem to be saying different. So did Jared Kushner misspeak yesterday?
No,
Look at all, you guys are all famous now.
He used the word our. Okay, our. Our is referring to our country. The states, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of your knowledge, are a part of our country. We are taking what is in the federal stockpile and we are helping states all over the country. But we also want to keep some because when that surge comes, when you hit those peaks, we're going to need, we have to be able to have the flexibility to take those ventilators
Yo, man,
and bring them to
thanks.
Louisiana, New York, Detroit, different places. That's all.
You will be using
But the
them for the
word,
states that
oh,
need
of
them.
course, we're not using them anywhere else. We're not going to be using them, John, anywhere else. But we want the flexibility because, you know, we don't even know when the surge is coming, but
Oh.
it's coming soon and it's going to be
All right,
big.
I won't think.
And
Give me
some
some.
areas
Give me some
won't
money.
have it. Some areas
I'll
will
thank
be
you.
pleasantly surprised, just like we've been. You look at the chart. States that I thought would have been maybe a disaster
are
turned
tough.
out to be.
It's cool.
Really, they've done a great job. Some states are really trouble. But you don't know. You don't know. We have great flexibility. I would have preferred giving them all out. We'd have nothing. And now when we have a surge, we can't get them back from where we gave them because it's very tough to take them back. So we have tremendous flexibility. And it could be New York. It could be Louisiana. Those are two that are really rough. New Jersey is very rough.
Make it higher.
And they've done a very
bigger.
good job in New Jersey. But New Jersey is very rough. Go ahead, please, in the back.
Yes, the question is about the CDC guidelines. I know that they've changed over time from February, and
The
there's,
guidelines relative
Oh,
to
did I
which?
get $3?
The
for
masks?
instance, social distancing and
Ooh,
the number
I
of
missed
people
it.
who can gather in a group and so on.
Wow.
And now we have this
Thank you.
measure about wearing masks. And I know you told Steve about why you don't want to wear a mask, but I'm just wondering if you can tell us more about why, because it would
I just don't choose
an
to.
example.
This is
They're
a
not
good
mandatory
question.
guidelines. They're guidelines. They suggest you could wear them. You don't have to wear them.
Well, then what's the point of the guideline?
If you want to say a couple of words about it, you can if you want. You don't have to.
And your decision.
But basically, it's a voluntary
Thank you, Cloud 10.
thing.
I will.
Say it directly. Doing a good job.
Thank you very much. I think I just want to reemphasize, I've said this before, that we're not defenseless against this virus. We have a powerful tool, a powerful weapon, that is social distancing. And we've continued to embrace that with the President's initiatives to slow the spread of coronavirus. We're constantly looking at new data, and as the Surgeon General said, one of the new information that became more clear to all of us is there's
Okay.
a greater number of people
Well, how do you
that
feel
are
about the fact that
asymptomatically infected than we
the most powerful
previously
guy on the earth is not
thought,
going to
as Ambassador Birch
adhere to your
said, that may be
guidelines?
inversely related to age. And so really the purpose here is first and foremost to embrace the
Buy
social
some
distancing.
guns with $3.
That's the number one
Okay.
thing. That's the powerful weapon. And, you know, this virus has a great weakness. It can't jump from one person to another if it's got to swim more than 6 feet. And this is why we really want that. That said, we now know that there may be individuals in areas of significant community transmission that may
what
be
is he even talking
asymptomatically
about?
infected.
Okay, now he's talking about the
And we
masks.
know that a face barrier can actually interrupt the number of virus particles that can go from one person to the other. So as was said by the Vice President, this is
Stay inside your house. Everyone go out first.
Covering
Food is that hard? It is hard,
another
actually.
adjunctive mitigation strategy to protect someone from spreading the virus from themselves to someone else.
Mixer elixir.
And I was just tested also, so I assume I don't have the virus, so I don't have to worry about spreading it. Okay?
Face.
Please, go ahead.
Mr. President, I want to make sure we're clear. When you mentioned tariffs
All right, I will.
earlier that came up in the meeting, are you considering tariffs on Saudi Arabian oil?
Should I keep streaming on Mixer? You guys like
Tariffs
Mixer?
have made a tremendous amount of
Should I
money
try
for
Twitch?
our country.
I'm kinda
I put
curious
them
about
on China.
Twitch.
I put them on other places, and other countries tariff us,
Twitch?
and they take advantage of us, and they have for many years. Look, countries have taken advantage of the United States for
So I
years.
can get
They've
money?
ripped us off like nobody can even believe. Whether it be
You assume you don't have the virus.
on manufacturing,
the same
whether
shit.
it
Why
be on
change?
exporting, whether it be on almost anything, including military, where we provide virtually free military assistance to countries that, frankly, take
Paul
advantage
stayed
of
inside
us,
for
don't
years.
even like us, okay? So this has been going on for years. They tariff us. They create artificial, you could say non-financial barriers, which are worse than financial barriers. You can't sell your product. You can't take care of our farmers. They won't take and yet they'll take us and sell into us.
I mean,
and we won't charge them anything for doing it. Look, they've taken advantage of us for years.
They could go big. All right.
Tariffs are a way of evening
Be
the
fun to be
score.
big.
Tariffs are a way of just neutralizing. They have
How
tariffs
lo-
on us, and we now can put tariffs on them. Am I using it for oil?
How
It's
long
something
does
we can.
Hassan
No. Am I
stream
doing
every
it now?
day?
No. Am I thinking about imposing it as of this
It's
moment?
true.
No. But if we're not treated fairly, it's certainly a tool.
Yeah,
in the
I don't think I can
What
do it
about
that long.
with Russia? Would you consider
I have a
maybe
life.
making sanctions or giving some sanctions
Well, it
relief?
would be
if
the
they-
same thing. No, it'd be the same
8
thing.
hours a day? No thanks.
They are having a dispute, the two countries, and it's hurting the rest of the world
I can do 3 hours.
because it's really hurting the energy industry. Russia's being hurt unbelievably badly, and Saudi Arabia is being hurt unbelievably badly.
I'll stay here for a while.
Because
sure.
oil and gas is a primary, that's where they get most of their income. And this is a price like from the 1950s. All right? It's a price from the 1950s. They are being hurt very badly. I think they're going to settle their dispute pretty quickly.
Why, on the oil, why do
Go
you
ahead,
think they've been
please.
more successful in getting them to raise the price? Why do you think you haven't been more successful in getting them to increase production in Russia and Saudi Arabia?
Well, they have increased production. That's what they've done. They've increased it so much that there's so you meant the opposite.
Why do you think you haven't been successful in getting them to
Just well, they're going to stop because the market, ultimately the market is going to get them to stop. But they both did the opposite. They increased production to a level
I'm hungry.
that water
I want a hamburger.
is right now more valuable than oil. Who would have ever thought, right? You go to some
want
of
some
these
chicken
kingdoms, water is far more valuable than oil.
I
There's
don't
so
have
much
bread.
oil.
I just ran out.
It's a tribute in a way. But what happened is there was a lot to start off with, and then you had the virus.
Chicken wings.
And it knocked the hell out of the market
Going-
in terms of demand.
We're going,
So there's
grocery shopping
demand,
tomorrow.
And there's tremendous supply. So, I mean, you saw numbers where it was down to 20 and down, frankly, below
Oh,
20.
wings.
It was even below 20. It's
My
an
favorite
incredible
food.
thing, the market. But ultimately, the marketplace will take care of it. But I think they're going to work out their problem fairly quickly. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. We're already talking about phase 4 of a stimulus, right? But you and Pelosi and McConnell are already talking about different things that should be in it. Now, last time, people were telling me that the fact that you wouldn't talk to Pelosi was an impediment and it really slowed things down. Are you
I'd talk. If it were important to talk to her, I'd talk to her. If it were important for the American people, I'd talk to her. But other than that, I can have other people talking to her. Look, you ready? Infrastructure is a great thing for me. I think infrastructure for this country, we have an old broken infrastructure. 50 years ago, we were the envy of the world. And then we spent all this money so stupidly in the Middle East. It's going to be very close to $8 trillion in the Middle East. How stupid was that decision? But they spent it on that and other things. We've got to fix our infrastructure. That means roads, highways, tunnels, airports, everything. We got to fix our
Infrastructure, yeah.
And the beauty is because of the fact that we are so strong.
Icicle Japan, I like every kind of wing.
It's zero. We
Just
never
like
had a chance
straight
to
up
borrow
buffalo,
zero. Even
really
this
hot
country,
buffalo
we never had
wings.
a chance to borrow zero. We're going to borrow. This is a great time. So we can fix our infrastructure, and we'll have almost no interest costs. This is the time to do it. Steve, one more question.
The death toll projections that you shared with us earlier this week, are we still
I don't
on
have an air
the
fryer.
trajectory for that, or
These are
have
my-
social
which-
media-
these are the wings I wanna get.
Trajectories for many things.
100 to 240,000. Are we still on that trajectory, or have we made any improvements, or maybe not enough time has passed?
Say it, Steve.
Have we made enough improvements?
On what? On what?
On social distancing.
On the models? I'd have to ask Dr. Fauci, and I'd have
This is
to
where I
ask
wanna go.
Deborah. Have the models changed?
OB Bear. This Korean
So
place.
a lot of the projections you can see are
It is.
based on, there's many different ways to look at this. And as we discussed on Sunday, some of it is based on the
These are
current
the spicy
global
ones.
experience. We're about,
These spicy ones.
I think 6.5 or 5.5 times the size of Italy, a different factor in Spain. And we look at all of those, what their projections are.
Why?
where
I don't
they
know,
are
'cause I'm always
currently,
hungry.
And where that
I don't
is
eat enough
going.
for
And
lunch.
So a lot of the work is based on how
Just think
this
about dinner.
virus has moved through other populations. That's a very direct way to see how the virus is impacting a population. There's also terrific models. And so every day and every night, one of the models that actually looks at the model related to mortality is the healthdata.org data. And they update it every night, and you can see where we are in that projection. I think in the last run of that model, they were at 93,000
Start delivering food by drone.
or
Yeah, that'd
something
be
in the
good.
model. Now, all of that can be changed by our behaviors. And so, and all of it can be changed in a different way if we don't follow those behaviors. If another major metropolitan area ends up having an epidemic like the New York metro area, that could dramatically change not the model, but the reality of the impact of this virus on Americans.
Now, by the way, the models show hundreds of thousands of people are going to die. You know what I want to do? I want to come way under the models. The professionals did the models. I was never involved in a model, but at least this kind of a model. But you know what?
Is
Hundreds
off-screen,
of thousands
off-camera
of people. They say, I
ad-lib.
want much less than that. I want none, but it's too late for that. But I want very few people relative to what the models are saying. Those are projections. I hope they're wrong. I hope we're going to be under those projections.
That's
Two
his
questions
true
on
move,
continuity
is
of government.
off-screen.
Why can't you always have two? Why can't you have one?
Well, they're
Every
related.
time.
Butter
I have three
Master.
questions. I have two questions. Can you give me one instead?
Countdown.
You have a couple of other people.
Have they said anything new?
Okay,
Just
I'll go with
about
my second
masks,
one.
basically. That's
The
it.
governor of Wisconsin is now talking
CDC
about
recommends
delaying
masks.
the primary, or at least not having in-person voting. So my question is, and I asked this a couple weeks ago, I want to see if you've made any progress on this. Looking ahead to the fall, are you taking steps to ensure that the general election will happen even if this pandemic has reemerged or hasn't gone away?
The general election will happen
Cotton
on
is
November
pushing
3rd. In Wisconsin, what happened is I, through social media, put out a very strong endorsement of a Republican conservative judge who's an excellent, brilliant judge. He's a justice. And I hear what happened is his poll numbers went through the roof. And because of that, I think they delayed the election.
Concerned about people going to in-person
I
voting?
don't know. Why didn't he do it before? He's doing it right before the election.
do you think
Excuse me. Why did he do this 2 weeks ago? All of a sudden, all of a sudden an election which is taking place very soon gets delayed. Now, I just endorsed him today, and it was a very strong endorsement. His polls, he's gone very high up.
I missed
And all
it.
of a sudden,
What
the
are you
governor
talking
comes
about?
out, the Democrat governor, by the way, comes out and says, oh, we're going to move this election. So I don't know. I hope you're right. I hope you're
But do you
right.
think every state in this country should be prepared for mail-in voting
No,
in case we're in a
because I
situation?
think a lot of people cheat with mail-in voting. I think People should vote with ID, voter ID.
Why?
I
Why
think
do we
voter
do
ID is very
anything?
important. And the reason they don't want voter ID is because they intend to cheat. When you get something, when you buy something, you look at your cards and credit cards and different cards. You have your picture on many of them, not all of them, but on many of them. You should have a picture on your for voting. It should be called voter ID. They should have that. And it shouldn't be mail-in, excuse me, it shouldn't be mail-in voting. It should be you go to a booth and you proudly display yourself. You don't send it in the mail where people pick up all sorts of bad things can happen by the time they sign that, if they sign that, by the time it gets in and is tabulated. No, it shouldn't be mailed in. You should vote at the booth and you should have voter ID.
Well,
Because
U.S.
when you
has a
have
different
voter ID,
different
that's the real
relationship
deal.
to
Thank you very
voting.
much. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
People have been, prevented from voting for all sorts of
We've been listening to
bogus
President
reasons.
Trump once again conduct the
Same
coronavirus
here.
briefing at the
Well, that
White
was a
House.
quick one.
Interestingly, you may have heard him mention that he's going to utilize the Defense Production Act to limit the sale of N95 masks, surgical gloves, and respirators to foreign countries. We also heard Dr. Deborah Birx mention the fact that there are some new hotspots they are concerned about, including Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, Washington, D.C., and Colorado.
That was
We
a
will
short one.
continue to monitor this story,
All right.
of course.
Well, that was not much new there. I mean, you know, they announced that we needed masks, although Trump refused to do, you know, saying I'm choosing not to do it, which is sort of like, what's even the point of doing the guideline, I guess. Fauci wasn't there. You know, Trump just kept saying what a good job he's doing. Glad he's doing the press conference daily. Yeah, I mean, it's just weird because he wasn't doing them before. You know, like that was a big complaint of the journalists is that he wasn't ever doing it. Why don't I watch the press briefings with you on Saturday and Sunday? Do they have them Saturday and Sunday? I gotta take the weekend off, man. I take the weekend off. He seemed a little sober. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it this Saturday. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I mean, Lauren has to work, so I don't know. I could do it. What do you think? What could he possibly say? First, take the weekend off. I mean, going forward, I just took on a new assignment. I don't know. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna keep doing it as much as I can. I like doing it every day, though. It's good. Good to have a routine. I know. I need to make money now. You know, I wasn't gonna take any more assignments. So I was like, I'm just gonna focus on the book. But like, shit's getting dark. If I can make a few grand right now, I should take it. I think, because the book, you know, it'll be here. I'm not gonna travel. I mean, nobody's really traveling. You know, it's not like I could really do anything if I went anywhere. So, it's gonna be all just from my house. I think. Tough times for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people who just got laid off today. A lot of my friends work for this website called The Outline that they shut down basically, and they all left. HBO Go is free this month, really? That's cool. I have a secret site that I use that I get everything. Yeah, unemployment was crazy. I might write something about. Nope, can't hook you up. Finality of Corona, talk about how boring this is while how serious it is. I think I might write actually about. I was talking to my editor. I might write something about the briefings, like watching the briefings. I can't tell you. I'm not gonna narc. I might write about what it's like to watch the briefings. I don't think a lot of people are watching them. You know, I tweeted about them. I got a lot of tweets on this tweet. I tweeted about it, but it seems like people have sort of tuned it out, and I'm one of the few people who are watching it all the time, so I can kind of see the ups and the downs, and just talk about sort of like, you know, the sort of like logic of watching it, the sort of mindset you get in of like, oh, where's Fauci? Oh, what's Trump gonna do next? You know, like I've never watched Trump for this long, and it's really fascinating. I feel like I'm learning a lot about, you know, who he is. Not good things, but who he is, how he runs the government. Like he loves to just sit there, stand back, let things unfold in this crazy way, and then he'll like pop in and stir the pot. Like he loves to just be off camera, and then as somebody is talking, he'll like jump in and take it over. Those are the moments when he shines. I think when he's like off screen, taking it over. I normally don't politics at all. Coco's savage. Because we're all home in isolation. I feel like we watched this briefing crap. Right. You don't watch any news, really? I don't watch the news. I only started watching cable news recently, and it's been kind of weird, but I almost only watch or read the news. It's not good. Like, and CNN, like, it's better than Fox, but it has its own weird problems that are not good, you know? You fuck with NPR? No. I don't really listen. I almost only get my news. I feel like I should probably broaden out a little. I listen to NPR when I'm in the car a lot of times. I almost only get my news from Twitter and magazines and newspapers. Only print, really. But I listen to NPR. I mean, I like the BBC. I like NPR for just what's going on. You know, I like Democracy Now! You like Democracy Now! Is good. I mean, it's like left wing, but they cover stuff that other people don't. They cover a lot of global news. Breitbart? No, I don't listen to or watch Breitbart. OANN. Let's see what OANN is like. Is it free? You watch YouTube, but you don't care for day-to-day politics, or the bigger picture type stuff, like where are we going, society, and what are our goals? Right, like you need to pay. Yeah, so you like more big picture stuff. Day-to-day news, I try to limit it. I try to balance out day-to-day news with you know, bigger picture things, magazine articles, books. But when something like this is happening, the crisis, I just get so fixated on the day-to-day, the drama of it, what's going on, where it's going. I mean, I don't know, just something new every day. Like, that's what Trump with these daily press briefings, he's like trying to control the narrative in this way. It's not working very well. I mean, I don't think, but with this base, it probably is, right? They probably turn in every day. They see him talking. They see him giving his spiel. They don't get anything else. They get Fox News. They get, you know, conservative right-wing outlets. I think it's probably very rare that any criticism might penetrate them, right? Like, I don't know. OANN. It's $10. It's too loud, sorry. Is it really too loud? Can you, is it against the TOS to like watch cable news in the background? I was to just like put this on and watch it, like you can watch it on Facebook.
One American News Network, your source for credible, honest, unbiased reporting around the world, has just launched a live 24/7, 365 days a year uninterrupted cable feed on Facebook. And it's only $4.99 per month. Now you can watch One American News Network live, anytime, anywhere in the world. Go to our Facebook page and click here to become a supporter today.
Got wrecked for copyright. I was straight streaming an old show. But I bet you could play it for a little while, right? Guardian News has a live stream. I got a $10 donation. Did I see it? No. What? It didn't pop up? When? Right now? About 3 minutes ago. No, I didn't. Did it pop up on the screen? How come I didn't see it? It didn't make a sound. It did. Who did it? Jeez. I didn't know I got a $10 donation. Thanks, bro. Gotta log in and see. Oh, can't do it on the screen. People don't know to support shout out cultures. Well, I want to thank whoever did it. It's not about shout out. I appreciate it. 13 bucks. Not too bad. So should I use that to subscribe to OANN? Edge, thank you. I really appreciate it. I do. Use it on the wings. What if the next time I'm streaming this, I just have like a giant plate of wings and I'm eating it the whole time? That would be kind of gross. That's not a very good thing to eat on stream. Doomsday preppers are probably so smug right now. I read an article about them. They were complaining about how people were prepping wrong though. They were like, you guys are buying, you know, all the wrong stuff. Where to watch? I don't really. Look at this. Socialism rising.
We should be very alert to the fact that we could go totally socialistic.
What seems radical today will seem mainstream tomorrow if we stand together and make those changes.
Ah! Look, they got an interview with My Pillow.
One American News Network, your source for credible, honest,
What is this?
Well, American businesses are doing their part to help medical workers.
All these medical supplies we were relying on from China.
Is this
They're all
popular?
going to be made here now. You can bet the president will have that done. And My Pillow, we hope to just keep going, you know, whatever's needed. We're looking into sanitizers manufacturing. We're looking at all different kinds of things right now for the future so we can get.
I see the Bill Gates. I haven't seen it, no. Thought Lauren was here. Can you make masks out of My Pillow? I don't know. Does anybody here have a My Pillow? Whoa, look at that. That's not My Pillow. Why is this the first My Pillow? Search for My Pillow. He's like, but like that's like very risque, and this guy's like super religious. Look at this huge cross he has. Mike, what's this guy's name? I feel like he's got some skeletons in this closet. This guy. Mike Lindell. Come on. What's his, Oh, does he? He was an addict? Turned his life around. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm not gonna... No hate for that. Born again. He said they were sued in Oakland for running ads with false claims. I mean, the main knock against him is that he's a huge Trump supporter, but... I was addicted to opiates. Recovery is a beautiful thing. For sure, for sure. Props to him. But also, why does he love Trump so much? You think he's the one who convinced Trump to, like, go hard on curing, whatever, opioids? Adrian Chen, Lunar, Gary, Moises, EBZ, all going live. Well, nobody has anything else to do. 2 botched surgeries, but yeah, don't get back surgery. Eesh. Well, yeah, props to Midge too. I've never experienced. I guess I did. I had Tylenol 2 or whatever, but it didn't make me feel anything. This company buys a lot of ads on Fox News. I'm gonna have to, I don't know when I'm gonna have to go, but Lauren texted me and said I needed to come to her house soon to help her move some stuff, so might have to leave. Not much is going on right now anyway. You quit drinking. Oh, I'm still around. I might play some Tarkov. This game, she's not good. She's not moving. Her cat's peed on her bed, and she has to move the mattress out. I know. She said it's because they hate me. She blamed me on it. I feel like you can't control your cat. It's not my fault. Yeah, Beep's out here deleting, tweeting and deleting. Is anyone doing anything good on stream? IRL?
Yeah, that's all.
PSA
she's making a beat in Ableton.
It's always my fault, dude. It is. I'm trying to convince her to come on stream to play GTA with me, but she's hesitant. I told her that she could keep all the donations, and I think she's much better at getting donations than I am. So I think she's thinking about it. She wants to get the donations and then donate it to the animal shelter that she volunteers with. Here's a tweet. I tweeted this today. This is true. She's like right across the way. It's really disturbing to me. No, that's not what I meant. I just meant we're doing this. We're just gonna sit there, stare at each other while I'm writing. Everybody was saying, oh yeah, it's either a murder mystery or a love story, but not like that. I'm just staring. Just gonna be like, Draw a picture, put it up there. It's awkward because sometimes I'll come in without a shirt on or something, you know? Like, I'm not used to people being there. What's forcing CD? She wants it, dude. Is forcing the guy who like cheated or something? I don't know. I don't know any of these references. Doctor disrespected. Forcing made him oh, okay. Yeah, see, this is all stuff I don't know. Let's check out. I want to watch Hassan for a second because I've heard about this guy a lot.
Up, you want to be the one.
This guy's playing Escape from Tarkov. A lot of the
hilarious jokes.
Escape from Tarkov stuff.
Rip ammo in there. It's almost like
on Twitch has
more
a lot.
than the gun itself. No lie. It's all yoinks.
I'll play April 3rd. Yeah. This song just came out. It's April 3rd today, right? Gotta play that.
Tell me what for you all, yo. Put me arms right around you. Can you give me the tightest hold me ever get in my life? Girl, me want for just squeeze you. Put me things all around you. Girl, you give me the tightest hold me ever get in my life. Me guide them jam, me no care. You take it anytime, anywhere. In the square, so me no fear. Long as a woman, I will be there. We want a girl, me can't wine for me.
He's like a dancehall guy. It's a good song. This is a big song when I first moved to New York. I listened to Ben Shapiro's podcast for a while just to like see what was up. He's like good at what he does. I totally do not agree with any of his politics or beliefs, but he's very like straightforward. He's sort of just personal enough. Hey, lo-fi type, what's up? This is his new song. I heard the video is good, or there's something interesting about the video. I haven't watched the video, but let's see. It's like he shot it inside his house or something. It was like very like DIY vibes. I like that. This guy. Song, chill. I don't know. Not much to say about it. I'm not a huge Drake fan. I mean, like some of his songs are catchy as hell, but like I don't like his whole entire thing. But see the pic of Adonis? Yes, I did. Yep.
Pieces of puzzle pieces and so forth.
What's this?
Those are actually, you know.
Texas coronavirus update. Okay. Well, you guys can hang out if you want. I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna play a little Tarkov until Lauren texts me to tell me to come over. This game, I'm addicted to this game. I'm really bad at it, but blue eyes, blonde hair. I know. The first thing I heard about it was somebody in the place I was at when I was getting my foot checked out at the doctor's office, and I just heard the doctor and like a couple of the assistants like whispering over. Somebody was like, "Did you see pictures? Did you see Drake's baby?" And the doctor goes over and looks. He's like, "No, that's not real. What?" This is Drake's baby. It's a cute baby. It's a cute baby. I don't know. I can't promise anything. I might have to be hanging out with Lauren. I might have to do other work, but I would have a DNA test. I'm sure he did have a DNA test done. sure he did. I'm just gonna go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a snack. I don't think Drake's kid is ugly. I think it's cute. What are you talking about? All right. Change this. Change the game. Everybody wants me to change the game all the time to the right game, so I will. I think he's cute. Doesn't look like him. For sure. She's a painter and a porn star? But baby mama was a porn star? I didn't know that. I don't know much about it. That's like, I don't really follow a lot of celebrity gossip, but that's big enough that even I'm aware of it, you know. That's how you know it's a big story. Sorry, I'm just bringing this up. I got these like pastries. You can't really see. They're like Armenian pastries. They're really good. You guys got any plans this weekend? It's like a joke that I like to ask people now. COD multiplayer is free this weekend. Big plans, big plans. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna like go for a drive, I think. There's not much to do. Yeah. I'm just gonna go for a drive. Alright. So I've been doing really badly. Drive with the windows up. You don't need to drive with the windows up. Go for a drive and then maybe go hiking somewhere if we can. And then like on the way back, like get drive-through takeout from, you know, In and Out or something. That'll be the big weekend. I'm gonna play as this guy, Scav here. Ooh, he's got a good gun. So, thing is, you basically can play as this guy as your main character, or a Scav, which is just sort of a randomly generated character that you can drop in and play around in. But you can, if you survive, you can get his loot. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Summit. Is Summit on Mixer? Oh. Can I stream what? The trip? Lauren would kill me. I told Lauren, I was like, you know, you wanted to be on here? I bet we could get some good views, but she's not really interested. I don't blame her. She's got her own shit. A hike? Yeah, I don't think I can stream it. I'll ask her. I told her, I was like, we could stream. People love to donate to women. You can keep all the donations. She has been on stream, yeah. If you go back a few times, she was on stream. But she doesn't want to. I'm gonna try to convince her to play not Metal Gear, Grand Theft Auto. She's very funny playing video games. It's fun to play video. She really likes video games too. I did do the RV trip, yeah. This is basically like a hike. You hear how the nature sounds. It's on PC, yeah. This game's only on PC. I gotta look up the map here. One of the keys is you need to have a... It's just like so unforgiving, yet, so I have to pull up a map so that I know where I'm at. Might see me looking at it. There's no HUD, there's no map, there's no compass. Like basically dropping in, and you have to just survive and find a... You have to find an exit point, and then you find the extraction point. You see up there, railroad to military base, or trailer park workers shack. I know, I'm just going crazy, Moises' lawyer. It's not actually that much content. It's the last thing. So I need to go to... There's other people in here who are going to try to kill me. I might even get killed while I'm doing this, looking up what I'm trying to do. Trailer park. Okay, train. Railroad to military base. Railroad to military base. Okay. Or trailer park workers shack. Okay. Where's the... Okay. I see it. I see it. Where am I, though? I'm content god, thank you. Okay. Where am I now, though? Okay. Shit. Trying to look where I am now. This is an outdated map. Okay, we'll just have to... Oh! Oh shit, there's somebody here. I don't think he's a human. There are human and NPC characters. I think it's an NPC. Oh! Woo! Oh shit, there's another guy over here though. Woo! Oh, there's so many of them! Jesus Christ. Oh! Wow! Oh my god. Dude. Now I have to hide because there's probably going to be somebody who heard all that. Those were allied scabs, right? I think so. But I think you can kill them. You're supposed to kill them. Right? Was I not supposed to kill them? I have that option. Well, I want to loot them. Right? I want their shit. Oh shit. There's so many of them. I've never seen. Yeah, but I've tried that before and they just killed me. One time I was like, oh, they're friendly, right? So I can just walk up and... No. I walked up to them and they just shot me in the head. Oh god, Lauren's here. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna have to go fast. I'm gonna have to go past the extraction point. No time for anything else. Yeah, this is good. I like this game for the... Oh, Jesus. It's good, post-apocalyptic shit. Where'd the other guys go? Pepe! Help! Where do I go? That's the... This guy's over here. I don't know where I am. I think that's... Which direction is that? I think that's east. I need to go south. Okay, that's the road. I think I'm going south. Am I going north on the road now? I'm always lost in this game. Oh shit. This is definitely what America's gonna be like. Okay, I just need to orient myself. I think those are the towers over there. I think I need to go. I think I need to go to the trailer park shack, or up here and go to the Trailer Park Workers Shack. Trailer Park is this way. I think. Whoa, look at that guy. Oh shit. Woo! I'm running. I'm just getting out of here. I have 2 guns. If I can get these guns back, I'm happy. Fuck all this. Oh. I think I hear somebody. Might even go in the right way, I don't know. There's a river here? Where's the fucking river? I truly don't know where I am right now. I think I'm looking up the main bridge. Shit, I think I have to go across here. Oh, here we go. Nah, I gotta go. I got 1 gun. If I can get these 2 guns, I'm set. I'm not gonna get greedy here. The worst thing to do in this game is to get greedy. Well, yes, unfortunately I'm not Shroud. Does Shroud play this game? Yeah, I've seen him. I'm sure he's killer. Whoa. Fuck it. Fuck it. Run. Okay, I'm in the parking lot now. I think if I just run across here, yep. I should be able to make it to the trailer park. Oh man. I love the sound in this game. The sound is really important. I have my shit turned up so loud. I think Lauren's here. Lauren? I have my shit turned up so loud because it's like really important to hear. But then it's like really scary and loud. It like literally deafens my ear when it shoots, and I can't really figure out how to. Where's the trailer park? Fuck, did I do something wrong? Swear to God that this is right. Yes, Shroud is amazing. Ah! I gotta look. Oh, some loot here. Trying to find it. Huh. Oh. Hey, Lauren. I think it's over here. Yeah, I'm looking for the trailer park cabin. Trailer park workers shack. Where is that? I think I'm nearby. Yeah, this is the thing, I have to look this up. Like, where is it? I'm looking at a YouTube video now. Yeah, I know, I don't know what's going on over there. Okay. It's right where I am. This is where I am. Oh, around the corner. Okay. Is it over here? Oh, I got it! Woo! Alright. GG. Now I'm gonna cough. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. I can never tell if this is actually, but the big thing is I got 2 guns. And I got 2 backpacks. Bunch of shit. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on in the other room. Better mask up. This. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Around a room? Gotta... Half the time people are, in this game, they're just rearranging their inventory. Alright, you wanna go? I'll come in and say hi to the stream. Were you coughing? What's wrong? You have coronavirus? Come here. go to the grocery store? What'd you get? Alcohol. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I gotta go. You got cookies? Can I have one? One more round. Can I do one more round? I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can because I would like to, but it's also very. This isn't a game that you can just quit. You know, you lose everything. I'm gonna see if I can do one more. I'll ask her if I could stream the hike. She's not gonna like that. I need a new phone though. I need my front camera doesn't really work, so I can stream forward, but it's not super ideal, but it would be fun to stream a hike. Also, there's not always I got all my medicine up there. There's not always good service, you know. See, like if you ever watch Escape from Tarkov streams, they're just like doing this. I need to get it so that I can easily play music.
No functional.
Then I got bullets up here. Got money. I don't know what this is. Bullets. Do I have any more bullets? Okay, and then I'll put my random weird shit. I don't know what this is. Junk. You get a lot of junk. Man, that was the first successful one I've done. I mean, I would spend time with her, but she just wants me to do errands, so. Come here. You want to go right now? Okay, I'll end my stream then. I'll come get the groceries. What? Yeah. Okay. All right, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you guys later.
I got you bacon.
You want me bacon? Okay. They asked if we could stream.
What drive?
The drive we're gonna take.
Doing that on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Oh yeah, tomorrow. We're not. We're
There's
just
not.
working.
I mean, there's not service going.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working.
Tomorrow we're working. Okay. So I guess I'll probably see you Monday. See you guys Monday. That cough is worrying. I could hear it. I know. I haven't heard that cough before. What's up with that? You have it?
I could have gotten it getting you groceries.
Getting me groceries?
Getting you
It doesn't.
getting beer and alcohol.
It doesn't
for
show
you.
up that long.
We got it. Getting you cookies.
Give me cookies. For this. Okay. All right. See you guys.